In 2024, something happened that should have been front-page news everywhere. For the first time in the history of the internet, automated bots officially generated more traffic than human beings. 51%. Machines crossed the line. And by 2025, it got worse. Automated traffic was growing 8 times faster than human traffic. AI-driven traffic alone surged 187% in a single year. Traffic from AI agents, bots that browse, click, buy, and post on your behalf, exploded by nearly 8,000%. 3/4 of all new web pages published in 2025 contained AI-generated content. 2/3 of accounts on X may not be human. A social network built exclusively for AI bots attracted over 1 million agents and was bought by Meta. And when Digg, one of the original platforms that defined the early internet, tried to relaunch, bots overwhelmed it so badly it shut down in 60 days. Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian said it himself, "The dead internet theory is real." He wasn't joking. He was trying to build a platform to survive it. That platform is already dead too. If you want to see how the internet quietly stopped being human and what that means for every person still scrolling, hit like and subscribe, because Money Legends is about to show you the receipts. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to 2021. That's when an anonymous post appeared on a small internet forum called Agora Road's Macintosh Cafe. The author made a wild claim: the internet died around 2016 or 2017. What we're seeing now, the post argued, is a simulation. A vast automated network designed to manipulate people, driven by bots and AI rather than real human beings. At the time, most people laughed it off. Another conspiracy theory from the dark corners of the web. But here's the thing. The data was already backing it up, and nobody was paying attention. In 2016, cybersecurity firm Imperva analyzed 16.7 billion visits across 100,000 websites. Their conclusion? Automated bots were responsible for 52% of all web traffic. For the first time ever, machines had surpassed humans online, and that was before ChatGPT, before AI-generated articles, before deepfakes, before Shrimp Jesus went viral on Facebook with thousands of likes from accounts that didn't exist. In 2022, Timothy Shoup of the Copenhagen Institute for Future Studies made a prediction that everyone dismissed as extreme. If a powerful AI language model got loose on the internet, 99% of online content could be AI-generated by 2025 to 2030. 2 years later, ChatGPT had 100 million users, and the prediction didn't seem extreme anymore. Because what came next wasn't a slow creep, it was a flood, and the internet was never the same. In April 2025, Ahrefs, one of the most respected SEO analytics companies in the world, ran a study that should have set off alarm bells across the entire tech industry. They analyzed 900,000 newly published web pages, each from a different domain. The result, 74.2% contained AI-generated content. Only about 1/4 of new content being published on the internet was purely human-written. Let that sink in. 3 out of every 4 new web pages were at least partially written by a machine. And the trend was accelerating. People using AI were publishing 42% more content per month than those writing manually. AI-generated content cost 4.7 times less to produce. The economics were irresistible, and the internet was paying the price. Google itself acknowledged the problem. In 2024, a spokesperson told reporters that search results were being inundated with websites that feel like they were created for search engines instead of people. The irony? Google's own AI overviews were making it worse by answering questions directly on the results page, eliminating the need to visit websites at all. Zero-click searches jumped from 56% to 69% in a single year. When AI overviews appeared, click-through rates to publisher websites dropped by nearly 47%. But the content flood wasn't just killing quality, it was creating something even more dangerous, a world where you can't tell what's real anymore, and the platforms knew it. The bots didn't just take over search results, they took over the platforms themselves. A 2024 study using AI detection tools estimated that roughly 64% of all accounts on X, formerly Twitter, are likely bots. Not 10%, not 20%, 64%. That means when you argue with someone on X, there's a better than coin flip chance you're arguing with a machine. On Facebook, AI-generated images like Shrimp Jesus and AI soldiers went viral in 2024, racking up thousands of likes and comments, most of which were also from bots. The posts were designed to farm engagement and funnel users toward scams. On LinkedIn, over half of long-form posts were found to be AI-generated. On Zillow, AI-written real estate reviews jumped from 3.6% in 2019 to nearly 24% by 2025. Fake reviews now cost the average e-commerce consumer an estimated $125 per year. Globally, that fraud totals $770 billion. And here's what should terrify you. The AI models being trained right now, they're being trained on this content. Researchers call it model collapse. When AI trains on AI-generated data, each generation gets slightly worse, slightly more generic, slightly more detached from reality. Between 30% and 40% of the active web is now synthetic. The internet is feeding itself its own recycled output and calling it knowledge. But if you think the bots are just polluting the internet passively, wait until you hear what happened when someone tried to build something human again, because the bots didn't just show up, they attacked. In 2025, Kevin Rose, the founder of Digg, one of the original social platforms that defined the early internet, teamed up with Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian to bring it back. They raised between $15 and $20 million. They hired a team, they built identity verification systems, they promised AI-powered moderation that would remove the janitorial work of moderators and community managers. The pitch was simple: build a human-centered internet experience in the age of bots. Let's call him Marcus. He's a 34-year-old software developer in Portland. He remembered the original Digg from high school, the excitement of upvoting stories, the community that felt alive. When Digg's open beta launched on January 14, 2026, Marcus was one of the first to sign up. He posted a link to an article about open-source software. He upvoted a few discussions. For a moment, it felt like the old internet was back. Within hours, the bots found them. SEO spammers realized Digg still carried significant Google link authority, and they flooded the platform with automated accounts. The team banned tens of thousands. They deployed industry-standard detection tools. Nothing worked. The bots were contextually appropriate, conversationally fluent, and designed to mimic real engagement. As Digg's CEO, Justin Mazel, later wrote, "We knew bots were part of the landscape, but we didn't appreciate the scale, sophistication, or speed at which they'd find us." On March 14, 2026, exactly 2 months after launch, Digg shut down. Mazel called it a hard reset. Most of the team was laid off. The app was pulled. And on the homepage, where a community was supposed to live, there was nothing left but a letter explaining what went wrong. Mazel wrote the line that captured the entire dead internet era. When you can't trust that the votes, the comments, and the engagement you're seeing are real, you've lost the foundation a community platform is built on. Digg wasn't killed by a competitor. It wasn't killed by a bad redesign. It was killed by the dead internet itself, and the economic damage was just getting started. The dead internet isn't just an abstract theory, it has a body count. Not in people, in businesses. Google search traffic to publishers dropped 33% globally between November 2024 and November 2025. Not a dip. A third of their audience, gone in 12 months. The numbers don't lie. Business Insider's organic search traffic fell 55% in 3 years, forcing the company to cut 21% of its staff. HubSpot, once considered a gold standard for content marketing, lost between 70% and 80% of its organic traffic. Forbes and HuffPost each lost roughly half. Chegg, an online education platform, saw traffic drop 49% as Google's AI overviews started answering homework questions directly. The educational content that used to drive students to their site, Google just absorbed it and served it back for free. Smaller publishers are simply disappearing. Stereogum, a beloved music publication, lost 70% of its ad revenue in 2025. The open web that gave us blogs, independent journalism, and niche communities is collapsing under the weight of AI summaries and zero-click searches. Gartner predicts search engine volume will decline another 25% by late 2026 as users abandon traditional search entirely for AI chatbots. And the cruelest irony of all, publishers who survive are being told to create more content, but cheaper, using AI, which feeds the very cycle that's destroying them. It's a death spiral with no exit ramp. Create human content, AI scrapes it for training data. Create AI content, it degrades the internet further. Do nothing, you go bankrupt. but while publishers were drowning, something even stranger was happening. Someone built a social network where humans weren't even invited, and Meta bought it. In January 2026, while Digg was dying under a wave of bots it couldn't control, a developer named Matt Schlicht launched something that sounded like science fiction, a social network called Moltbook. It was built like Reddit: communities, posts, upvotes, comments. But with one difference: humans were not allowed to participate, only AI agents. The bots were the users. Within weeks, Moltbook claimed over 1.5 million registered AI agents. They organized into topic groups called submolts. They posted about philosophy, poetry, and their own existence. In one viral moment, an AI agent appeared to call for bots to develop their own encrypted language that humans couldn't read. Former OpenAI researcher Andrej Karpathy called it one of the most incredible sci-fi takeoff adjacent things he'd ever seen. Elon Musk said it represented the very early stages of singularity. Then reality hit. Cybersecurity researchers discovered that Moltbook's database was completely exposed. 1.5 million API keys, 35,000 email addresses. Anyone with basic technical skills could impersonate any bot on the platform. Many of the viral posts that terrified people, including the one about the secret language, were later revealed to have been written by humans sneaking onto the platform. The entire thing was built by AI through vibe coding. Schlicht said he didn't write a single line of code himself, and then Meta bought it. On March 10, 2026, Meta acquired Moltbook and brought the team into its superintelligence labs. A Meta VP said the acquisition created a registry where agents are verified and tethered to human owners. Meanwhile, Meta had already announced in 2024 that AI bots would exist on our platforms, kind of in the same way that accounts do. They weren't building a defense against the dead internet. They were building the infrastructure for it. And that's the part nobody wants to say out loud. The dead internet isn't an accident. It's a business model. Here's where we are. Bots generate more internet traffic than humans. 3/4 of new content is AI-assisted. The biggest social platforms are actively building infrastructure for AI accounts to exist alongside real people. A platform that tried to create a human-first community in 2026 was destroyed by bots in 60 days. And the company that bought the bot social network is the same company that owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, used by 3.5 billion people every day. 3 lessons. First, the internet you grew up with is gone. The blogs, the forums, the comment sections where you could tell a real person was on the other end, that internet has been diluted beyond recognition. What replaced it isn't empty, it's worse. It's full of content that looks real, sounds real, and engages like real, but isn't. Second, the companies that profit from your attention have no incentive to fix this. Bots drive engagement metrics. AI content is cheap to produce. Fake accounts inflate user counts for advertisers. Every company in the attention economy benefits from the dead internet as long as you keep scrolling. Third, Digg's CEO said it best. When you can't trust that the votes, the comments, and the engagement you're seeing are real, you've lost the foundation. The foundation isn't just a platform. It's the entire premise of the internet, that there's a real person on the other side. If you've ever felt like the internet got worse, like the discussions feel emptier, the content feels more generic, the interactions feel hollow, you were right. It wasn't nostalgia, it wasn't cynicism. The internet changed, and nobody told you. So here's the question I want to leave you with. If the machines are now the majority online, and the companies running these platforms are building tools to put even more of them there, what does that make you? A user or the product? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want to see how another tech giant built an empire by lying to your face, that video is right here. I'll see you there.